She left Thailand at just 14 years old, unable to speak even a single word of Korean, stepping into a completely unfamiliar world with nothing but a dream and a determination that most people would never understand. Another left behind a quiet life overseas, choosing uncertainty over comfort after a single question changed her future forever. One walked away from everything familiar in Australia to chase music against impossible odds, while another carried the weight of expectations in silence, slowly building herself into a force the world would one day recognize. 4 different paths, 4 different struggles, and yet somehow, they converged into one of the most powerful groups in modern music history. Behind the luxury brands, the global tour, the record-breaking numbers, and the polished perfection lies something much deeper, a story of sacrifice, resilience, identity, and relentless ambition. This is not just the story of fame. Lisa's journey begins in Buriram, Thailand, far from the spotlight that would eventually define her life. Born as Prampriya Manable on March 27, 1997, she grew up in a place where dreams of global stardom felt almost impossible. A fortune teller once suggested changing her name for better luck, and so she became Lalisa, a name that would one day echo across the world. But luck alone didn't shape her story, discipline did. While others played, she trained. While others rested, she practiced. Dance became her language long before she learned any others. At 13, she auditioned for YG Entertainment against thousands of others. She wasn't just selected, she was the only one chosen. At 14, she left everything behind, her family, her home, her culture, and moved to South Korea without knowing the language or the system she was entering. The early days were brutal. She couldn't communicate, couldn't navigate daily life easily, and yet she was expected to compete with some of the most talented trainees in the industry. But she adapted. She woke up before sunrise, trained for hours, learned Korean from scratch, and pushed herself past exhaustion daily. 5 years passed like this, 5 years of uncertainty, doubt, and sacrifice. There were nights she wanted to quit, nights when loneliness hit harder than any training session, but she stayed. Her dancing became her signature, sharp and fluid at the same time, commanding attention effortlessly. Fans around the world quickly recognized her presence, and she became one of the most celebrated performers in K-pop. Over time, her influence extended far beyond music. Her social media presence broke records, her solo debut shattered expectations, and she became a global icon not just of music, but of culture. And yet, through it all, she never forgot where she came from, using her platform to give back to Thailand and inspire millions who saw their own dreams reflected in her journey. Jennie's story begins differently, quieter yet equally powerful. Born in South Korea but raised in New Zealand for much of her childhood, she grew up far from the intense world of K-pop. At one point, her path seemed set toward something entirely different, studying abroad, possibly pursuing law. But everything changed with one decision. When her mother asked if she wanted to stay overseas, Jennie said yes, but that wasn't the end of the story, it was the beginning of a new one. She eventually chose to return to Korea, driven by a growing passion for music that she couldn't ignore. In 2010, she auditioned for YG Entertainment. Nervous, unsure, and still finding her voice, she stepped into a room that would change her life forever. What made Jennie stand out wasn't just her talent, it was her versatility. Fluent in English and Korean, she quickly adapted to multiple roles within the company. Originally not even meant to be a rapper, she was trained into one, developing a style that would later define BLACKPINK's sound. Her training period lasted years, filled with intense evaluations and constant pressure. At one point, she disappeared from the public eye entirely, leaving fans wondering what had happened. But behind the scenes, she was preparing, perfecting her skills, refining her identity as an artist. When she was finally revealed as the first member of BLACKPINK, it marked the end of that silence and the beginning of something much bigger. Jennie quickly became known for her duality, fierce and confident on stage, yet soft-spoken and introspective off it. Her solo debut proved her star power beyond the group, breaking records and establishing her as a global artist in her own right. Beyond music, she became a dominant force in fashion, earning titles like Human Chanel and influencing trends worldwide. Yet behind all the success was someone constantly navigating expectations, criticism, and the pressure of perfection. Jennie's journey is one of identity, of refusing to be defined by others, and instead choosing who she wants to be, no matter how the world labels her. Rise's story is one of quiet persistence and emotional depth. Born in New Zealand and raised in Australia, she grew up surrounded by music long before she ever stepped into a studio. She played instruments, sang in church, and developed a voice that would later become one of the most recognizable in K-pop. But even with her talent, the idea of becoming an idol seemed distant, until her father encouraged her to audition for YG Entertainment. She didn't even take it seriously at first. The odds were overwhelming, hundreds of participants, only one spot. And yet she placed first. That moment changed everything. She left Australia behind, stepping into a training system that demanded everything from her. For 4 years, she trained relentlessly, refining not just her vocals but her entire artistry. When BLACKPINK debuted, Rise's voice immediately stood out, distinct, emotional, and capable of transforming simple lyrics into something deeply moving. Over time, she proved herself not just as a singer but as a musician, songwriter, and performer. Her solo debut broke records, her music resonated globally, and her influence extended beyond music into fashion and cultural impact. But Rise's journey isn't just about success, it's about vulnerability. She has openly spoken about mental health, about pressure, about the struggles behind the spotlight. Her strength lies not just in her talent, but in her honesty. She represents a different kind of power, the ability to feel deeply and still keep moving forward. Jisoo's story is perhaps the quietest, but no less powerful. Born and raised in South Korea, she didn't originally dream of becoming an idol. She was interested in art, in storytelling, in creativity beyond the stage. But life had other plans. After joining YG Entertainment, she trained for years, developing skills not just in singing and dancing, but also in acting and languages. Before debuting, she appeared in music videos and commercials, slowly building her presence. When BLACKPINK debuted, she became the group's emotional anchor, the calm, steady presence that balanced everything else. While others were known for intensity or boldness, Jisoo's strength was subtle, her ability to connect, to remain grounded, to carry herself with quiet confidence. Over time, she expanded her career into acting, earning recognition and awards for her performances. Her solo debut broke records, proving her impact as both a group member and an individual artist. Beyond entertainment, she became a global ambassador for major brands, influencing fashion and beauty industries worldwide. But perhaps her most defining trait is her authenticity. In an industry built on image, Jisoo has remained unapologetically herself, honest, genuine, and deeply connected to her fans. Together, these 4 stories form something extraordinary. Lisa, the girl who left everything behind. Jennie, the star who refused to be defined. Rise, the voice that turned emotion into art. Jisoo, the quiet strength that held it all together. BLACKPINK isn't just a group, it's the intersection of 4 completely different journeys, each one shaped by sacrifice, struggle, and determination. Their success isn't accidental. It's built on years of unseen effort, countless moments of doubt, and a shared commitment to something bigger than themselves. From different countries, different backgrounds, and different dreams, they came together to create something that transcends borders, languages, and expectations. And the most powerful part of their story is this: they're still writing it.